How's it going, guys? We're going to be going over TALO, YQ, BYND, RKT, GME, API, and FUBO. Okay, this is Patrick. You're trading with Prime. I'll try to keep this short and simple, short and sweet. First one we're going to look at is TALO. So I actually like the look of this chart other than today's candle. I definitely like the look of this. It's looking like a downward sloping wedgish kind of pattern as far as on the daily chart. And so first thing I want to do is there's a couple lines we could draw in here. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys, just to kind of see the price action the last couple days. So I do like this. I like that we found support down here. We ran up and now we're just kind of pulling back. It's about 50% retracement from this low down here up to this high, and then about a 50% retracement. There's two ways of looking at this. One is it's pulled back off of the all-time, not all-time highs, but it's pulled back off of these highs. And so it could be a bear flag pattern right here. And based on today's close, I would not be surprised to see lower prices. However, if somebody was to take a long trade at this price, especially off of this low right here, this day right here is the reversal candle. We're kind of in these moving averages right now. It's having a hard time getting back below the moving averages. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. I think you can be long against the low right here. So meaning tomorrow, let's say we have a gap down and it starts trading off, you know to take the stop loss because the next likely area is all the way down here below 866. I'll give you an actual price. It's around $8.50. And that, by the way, if the bear flag pattern played out, it would play out to about that price target. So I don't know if it's going to be lower prices. We will see. I'm not in this trade, just wanted to go over the chart. Next one is YQ. This one we definitely are in, and so we're kind of following this for a while now on the daily chart. You see this downward again. I like these wedge patterns. This can be a result, maybe not to this magnitude of a breakout, but once the breakout happens, the shorts begin to cover, and then it becomes somewhat of a squeeze. And I'm sure this is probably on some sort of good news, and it always turns out that way, that that the news comes right around the breakout time. So you can see how it's kind of just been coiling in this pattern here. And I think we went long. We went long based off of the low back here. So as it came into support, using this price area support, as it came into that price area, we went ahead and went long. And then especially after the breakout, holding onto this trade, I'm going to go down to an intraday time frame and give you a stop loss area if you, and that really depends on when you got in the trade. So I would definitely be looking at, as far as my position right now, I'm putting my stop up here at 1444, probably close to that area. Although, because it rallied up here, it pulled back a little bit down close to the stop loss, and then it rallied right back up here to 1949. You could move the stop loss up to this next pivot right here at 1558, which is probably something I should do in the morning, because it can still, we want to give it the room that it needs to consolidate without getting whipped out of the trade. This one we went on shares instead of options. Next one I'm going to go to is BYND, BYND. I absolutely love this chart. This one was just principle as far as it pulled back in here on the daily chart anyway. It pulled back in here. And this was more about like weighted prices, volume weighted prices. And so what we're looking at here is it did find support. It rallied here. It created like a bull flag. We went ahead and went long, and then we got the breakout the following day. And then we had held onto this position, got the breakout again. I'm actually still in this position here. We closed half of the shares up somewhere up here at the highs or near the highs. And just coincidentally, I mean, we just closed right at the open, so it just happened to be around the highs. So if I zoom in just a little bit, this again is the hourly chart, and I have after hours turned on here so you can kind of see what the after hours looks like. I don't like how this ran up here. This top candle you see up here is actually a reversal candle. This doji candle up here is a reversal candle, meaning that lower prices are more likely, and you saw the lower prices play out. This is the hourly chart, so we would expect that reversal to candle to last for a few hours at least, minimum a few hours, possibly targeting these moving averages down here. And again, just like the last chart, I do see a bear flag playing out in here. But the one thing I want to point out is you could probably be long. For one, you have a consolidation period back here. That in itself provides support, but also you have the low of this candle here, which also is a breakout area, and that will also provide support. So it could be that the chart gaps down in the morning and you might find buyers showing up. And because trading is dynamic, we have to watch it as it plays out, and we have to decide where we want to take our stop losses, where we want to move them to. I usually move them up to these areas, the next support areas up. I'll usually move them up. I'm not ready to just yet move it up here. I want to see a little bit more evidence, a little bit more price action. I want this trade to work out, keeping in mind that it did run 60% in a matter of 2 days. So we need to be mindful, I believe, of that scenario. So the other thing is, let's go to the next chart. RKT. I apologize for going really fast. I just want to get this video out and for you guys to have an opportunity here. Again, you see the same kind of pattern in RKT where it's this down sloping, almost like a wedge pattern, and then you definitely see support down in here. This is, again, another one of these charts we went long on based on the support down here. And what we're looking at for this one, this did break out, so we're kind of giving it the room that it needs. I definitely want to hold on to this. I'm actually eyeing a price target of, I believe it was $28. Let's see here. I think we could go for $28, and the reason why, I'll do this. I'll draw 2 lines across the screen. You're definitely going to have resistance in these 2 areas. Once it can get, if it can get above these highs, and you can see where it's having trouble. I want to draw another line across the screen. Kind of show you how I do it here. You see a line coming off of that candle right there. That's also going to be a little bit of resistance, and maybe it's having a hard time as it is. And this one, I want to give it the room that it needs, because we do know that it can actually, you know, you have a wide range here. It could come all the way back down to this price area right here, consolidate and do something like that. That's one scenario. It can also just trade sideways right where it is and create a bull flag. And if it did, you could then begin to target these upper resistance areas. And again, that's it. You know, when did you get it in the trade? If you're in it right now, when did you buy it? It's up 21% or 20% in a matter of 3 days. Solid trade. I want to see if that one plays out. The biggest part is this resistance that it definitely cleared. So I want to let it play out. I want to see if it'll do something like that, create a higher low on the chart. And then if you're not long, maybe you can consider it based on a higher low. Let's go look at Gamestop. I know there are probably 3 million videos right now on YouTube talking about Gamestop. All I can really say is like it's really hard to do technical analysis when it's at all-time. For one, it's at all-time highs. For two, it's parabolic. For three, whether it continues higher or continues lower, either way you look at it, it's at such high volatility that I would expect that it would go right through support and resistance levels that are on the chart. Traders could definitely have been short against today's high. It was a reversal candle yesterday, but as we know, after hours, it's up at like $200, somewhere up in there. So all I have to say is like you definitely could have used technical analysis back here when it was providing these levels, and that's, I don't know what I'm doing there. When it's providing these levels down in here, you could definitely use technical analysis like this bull flag right here. But once it broke out of this bull flag, and especially this following day, to try to do technical analysis, it's extremely hard. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna go down to a lower time frame. Let's go to the hourly, put in a high of 248. So after hours, and I believe that was based on a tweet. I don't think anybody really believes that GameStop is worth, excuse me. I don't think if I don't know, maybe people do believe that it's worth $248 a share or even $1,000 a share. I believe this after hours pump right here, which was 68%, somewhere in there, was based on a tweet and no relevance, I don't think, in the tweet. So all I have to say about GameStop is if you are in this trade, possibly just manage the trade. Let it do its thing. Give it the room. Just keep in mind that you're going to see a lot of volatility. Options are going to become very expensive. They already have been very expensive. It might be really hard to get a spread on it. The bid and the ask might be pretty far apart. So keep all of these things in mind. It would not be surprising to see this thing pull back 40% in a day, 50% in a day. I don't want to go above, I mean, maybe 60. But I also would not be surprised to see this go all the way up to 1,000. I mean, I wouldn't. This is very rare. So again, well done for the retail traders who are just beating the institutions in this name. I'm gonna flip to one other chart. It's Genus, and not like the IC. I mean, maybe there's a trade here, I don't know, but I just want you to show you what the outcome can be. And I know this looks pretty healthy as far as it, you know, Genus is curling here, and it looks like we're having a pretty good last few days here. This, I know the chart doesn't look like it, but this is probably in the 20% range, 24% in the last couple days. So well done if you're in this trade. As far as current prices, I wanted everyone to see back here in this area back here, follow my cursor, and this is what we see. You saw a run up of 3,470% in a matter of I don't know what that is, 2 months, or in a matter of 1 month. So this is what ultimately what it can look like. In the very first day, you had the very first pullback. I'll do the highs down to the next day's close was 47% in a matter of a day, you know. So by the next close, it's down 47%. And I'll just keep following my cursor here. We're going down. Now we're into the 80%. Now we're getting down. It based out at down 90%. So keep that in mind if you are a retail trader or any trader and you're looking to buy high to sell higher. Keep that in mind that you could see pretty serious pullbacks. Again, GME, well done to the traders that are sticking with it. And I am jealous. Absolutely, I'm jealous. Okay, so API, Agora. I don't know anything about this company. We are in this trade, and I think I'll probably close out tomorrow. I'll close some of this out or just raise my stop loss up here. I can kind of, in these patterns, they happen over and over and over, and you just kind of play the pattern. You did see a breakout. I believe this one we took long off of, not support, but it might have been, it was after the buyer showed up. It was the following day, and then it just happened to run up here to resistance. The momentum up to resistance, especially after taking people's stops out. Let me do this. There were a lot of people who got stopped out of the trade right here and took the stop loss, and then immediately saw a reversal. When you ever see that happen, you see an immediate reversal, almost like we did in Boeing a few months ago, where you saw like the floor went out from under it and then it rallied back up into the wedge. Whenever that happens, that becomes more bullish than it was bearish, because there's a lot of people who are short, and it creates the short squeeze we're looking for. And so for this one particularly, and especially after you get higher prices up in here, it can definitely continue running. But I'm not a trader. I don't like holding on. You know, I'll hold on for a little while, but I'm not going for 1,000% runners. I'm just trading the chart, you know. So I'd first be eyeing this around 57.53, and then of course all-time highs is all the way up here around 68.45. And last but not least, let's go to Fubo. I have to give a little bit of credit on this one. Again, I'm not huge on this company, but we did take a trade down here. I believe we were stopped out. This is the ones that we were stopped out in. We got back in. We're no longer in this trade, but there are people. Well, there's one person in particular, Sav. Shout out to you for calling this in the trading group. I was not interested in it, although I mean, I guess I just didn't. I was mainly looking at the daily chart, and I was looking at the hourly chart, but I wasn't really focused on lower time frames, and I probably should have been, because I didn't really notice this upward trend right here. All my eyes saw was this trend down here. And so sometimes this is a good idea of why we trade on multiple time frames. We should be looking at every time frame, the hourly, the 5-minute, the daily chart, the weekly chart. Well, I don't know how relevant. Eventually the weekly will be relevant, but for these purposes, these short swing trades, I don't know how relevant that would be. But I didn't see this today, and Sav pretty much called the low of day, near the low of day, amazing. And then of course after hours we have follow through, and it does look like it's going to be a gap higher breakout. Let's go back to the daily chart and see what we can see for some resistance areas. This price, and I'm going to do this, and hopefully you guys are learning a lot. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment under the video. If you want the link to the Discord, it is also under the video. Hit the like button if you gain value out of it. So last but not least, just looking at this little bit of TA for you guys. If we do have a gap higher in the morning, it would set a new floor, or in theory, it would set a new floor, and you could even draw a trend line up like this. And the candle I want you to focus on is this one right here. And I don't know what is current price, 47. So 47 is down in here. So just know this, as price, you know, I know on this side of the chart, but as price climbs higher up this candle right here, it's going to be drawn to this price level. So what you can do as a target is you can just put your cursor over here, say $50, $50.50, there would most likely be some sort of resistance around that area. It doesn't mean there has to be, but that's a good target. If I was long in this trade, that's what I would be targeting, depending on tomorrow's open. If we can get up into the gap, and the gap that I'm referring to is, let me do this. The gap that I'm referring to is right here. If we can get up into the gap, again, that next price target up above that is around $52. Okay, so that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, again, leave them in the comment section. Like the video. We will see you in the next one.